trying to make it all make sense.
The
More.
You
No.
Podcast.
I know there was the Iran-Contra, there was first selling coke on streets in America, and then using that coke money to fund the Contras to fight in Nicaragua. So Nicaraguans could fight their communist government, the Sandinistas. So that happened. And because the government, I think the Congress said you can't fund the Contras because the Contras were not good people. So they kind of did this covert way of doing it. But they also had this Iran-Contra struggle where I'm confused on how it works, but it's like kind of intricate and kind of stupid. So they sold weapons to Iran, and then they got money from Iran and they gave it to Contras. So it's two things. It's a crack cocaine, which is a separate issue that regards the Contras. And there's also Iran-Contra scandal, which also involves the Contras, but it's a different scandal in and of itself. But the goal is essentially the same, to overthrow the communist government in Nicaragua. And that happened during the Reagan administration. I think the remnants of it piled onto Bush's administration too.
Yes. You want to know what's
That's
an
my
interesting parallel?
What?
Is like father, like son is the opium trade in defending opium fields and all of our entanglements and involvements with opium in the Middle East.
Afghanistan?
Yeah. Similar towards what we were doing with the cocaine, if you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is.
Bush Senior's just like, all right, son, listen here. This is what you're going to do. It's like, I know where you're going to get this budget.
It's ridiculously crazy that the whole crack epidemic happened with the Reagan administration, and then at the same time they're saying say no to drugs. I could see how that makes Reagan look really bad. I think Reagan is one of the best presidents we've had, but I understand where people are coming from sometimes.
It changed my overall feeling for him. He's one of my favorite people to read, and he's an inspiration for sure. And I think he's a good man. But it's not like to the level of Cosby, but
yeah,
it's closer to those lines than something that's just a mild thing.
Yeah, I asked my teacher, the one who's an intelligence officer, and I was like, "Yeah, what do you think about this?" Like, it's like one of those things. Like every president has done something stupid. Like, what were you thinking? That was just Reagan's thing. It was stupid. And like, it's not always under the president's control. Like, the president's responsible for it, but it's just essentially one man responsible for this entire thing, or at least he gets blamed for this entire thing.
It is, and I think that the fact that it's something that you see continually, like he discussed, is what you hear Joe Rogan discussing with how freaking insane it is to give all this responsibility and view one person as the leader of the free world.
Yeah. Do you think that is the most stressful job?
No. I think General Mattis's job would have been more stressful.
Do you think it's more stressful being Elon Musk or being Trump?
It kind of depends on your perspective on how you're looking at it. I would say like there's a lot of value in being Elon Musk because nobody's assassinating Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
But the level of work and the level of stress and the level of accountability that Musk probably holds over himself in comparison to any president is probably much higher. So in that case, like I would say he has a higher level of stress with his job. But anything that has to go along with just like being in the spotlight and being in a position where you could be killed because you have true hatred going throughout the country surrounding you, that's unpleasant to another level where I'd rather work an extra 6 hours a day than have that,
Yeah. So just being president, you just have so many different aspects and so many different things you have to worry about.
I don't think Trump's stressed.
Oh, you don't think he's stressed?
No. I think the only stress he deals with is internal stress from like the perspective of anybody who takes in criticism from social media or anything like that, but just to like one of the most extreme extents because he's Trump. So like he certainly gets upset and gets in his head like too much, honestly, surrounding criticism and the hatred people have towards him. But as far as it goes with the operational perspective of his job as president, I'm guessing that it's probably actually pretty easy in comparison to the stuff he was doing in real estate and from an entrepreneurial perspective. And I just guess that because in comparing anything, and even with a job like this where it's crazy to even have this one person who's considered the leader of the free world, it's still a job within the government bureaucracy. And as you discussed earlier, like at the end of the day, they might not even have control over a certain level of things. So I think like his day-to-day operational tasks are probably much easier than when he was running all of the Trump brands.
Yeah, good point.
I hope this talk makes a positive impact in your life. Please subscribe to the podcast wherever you are listening or watching it. Check out other episodes, leave a review, and follow us on social media at More You Know Pod. Also, please don't forget about our sweepstakes. Retweet a clip with the hashtag #TheMoreYouKnow and new podcast from our Twitter for a chance to win a signed copy of my upcoming book, The More You Know, coming this fall. Tag 2 friends in the comments on a clip on Instagram for a chance to win a brand new copy of Dean Graziosi's Millionaire Mindset or Ed Milet's Max Out. Like us or share a clip on Facebook for a chance to win a book I have read that highly inspired me, signed by me with an inspirational message. Again, thank you for listening as we propel with podcasting through the more you know.
I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
The More You Know Podcast.